Hey everyone, Amy with AP Designs back at you with another ribbon braid tutorial. So the tutorial that I've got for you guys today is one that I learned a couple years ago under the name ZigZag. So that is the braid that I'm going to show you guys today and the name that I'm going to carry over with this video. Now you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. It's a little wonky with the measurements and it's a little wonky with how we start it. But if you stick with me, I'm going to teach you a really easy way and a little tip to help you make this braid or learn it a little bit faster. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to have what I'm going to call my red or horizontal ribbon. This ribbon right here is red and it is backed with diamond dust. This is 7/8 or number 5. If you're going to use smaller ribbon, the measurements that I'm going to give you are not going to work. You're going to have to figure that out on your own because I don't know what those are. Same way if you want to make this bigger. Although I've made it bigger, I'm not going to recommend it. It looked too much like a snake for me, and I'm not going to go there. So this horizontal ribbon is a total of 3 yards and 12 inches. Now, depending on how you braid, after you make this a couple times, if you braid more loosely, or if you braid tighter, or the size of your mum changes, anything like that, you're going to want to adjust accordingly. Okay? So I'm going to put this horizontally, and I'm going to make sure, number one, that the ribbon or the ribbon that I want to show the most when putting this together for the front of my braid is faced backwards. So I'm going to want my diamond dust to show up more than the red. So I'm going to make sure that's faced backwards. And number two, I'm going to make sure that only 1 yard, 12 inches is to my left. Okay, 1 yard, 12 inches. That means that the other 2 yards are to my right. Okay, so I'm not folding this in half and starting it. I've got 1 yard, 12 inches to the left, 2 yards to the right. On my other ribbon, my vertical ribbon, we're going to call that, is 5 yards before I'm getting ready to braid. And when I put it on here, the ribbon that I want to show up more for the front of my braid is going to be facing up. So I'm going to want this pretty imprint to show up more than this navy. So I'm going to make sure that it's facing up. Okay? Now, when I match this up, I'm going to make sure that to my left is the shorter side, just like the red, my horizontal. So I'm going to make sure that 2 yards are to the left. That's going to put the other 3 yards to my right. So I've got the longer sides on the right-hand side and the shorter sides on the left. I'm going to put this next to us so that you can kind of tell, you can kind of tell where we're at in the braid. So this is the middle point. Okay, is this right here, okay? It's just easier for me too when I'm making this. Even after I make a lot of them, sometimes it can be a little strange where I end up, especially if I'm not really paying attention. So I'm going to take this first, this top red, and the first thing I'm going to do is fold it under like this. Okay, now this diamond dust right here, this one that was the shortest ribbon out of all of them, the 1 yard, 12 inches, is going to become my center ribbon. I'm no longer going to worry about folding. This ribbon does not get folded. It just stays in the center, and these other 3 ribbon will fold around it or weave around it. Okay, so that's a good tip right there. It helped me. It still helps me because no matter how many times I've made this braid, I still get confused, especially because there's a few different ways out there to make this braid. And even when I'm learning other people's ways to make the braid, it will throw the measurements off if you try to combine them. So if you go watch somebody else's video and you try to use these measurements and they're doing it a different way, you're not going to end up with the same, it's not going to work. So now we're like this. And again, this silver one is no longer moving. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold this blue under the center ribbon and over its twin ribbon. And you're making sure everything is lined up flush. There should be no overlapping other than the obvious. But there should be no gaps either. Okay, so now we're like this. Now, remember what I said, that this one, we're not weaving this one. So obviously there's nothing we can do with this side anymore. So I'm going to take this red one right here and I'm going to fold it over and under. Okay, now we're like this. Then I'm going to take this imprint on the right, fold it under, over the center ribbon, and there. And then the last, we're about to finish on making, oops, I've got that the wrong way. We're about finished making this side. So we've made 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to make our fourth. So I'm going to take this, fold it down under everything, but on top of this left diamond dust. Okay, so we've made our first section, our first left section. Now we're going to make our other one. So we're going to take this one right here, fold it down under the diamond dust on top of the navy. Then we're going to take this one right here, fold it back under everything, but on top of the center ribbon, the one that does not move. Okay, now we're going to take this imprint, fold it over under the center ribbon. Now we're going to take this one, fold it up over everything, but under that red one. So now we've completed our first section on the left. So now we're just going to repeat everything. We're looking for this pattern every time now. There's the back. Okay, so now we're just going to repeat. I'll fold this over, fold this over, under, and on top of the center ribbon. You've noticed we've not moved that center ribbon. It stayed right in the center. There's no weaving. Everything just goes around it. Now we start on our second section. And then once you get the hang of it, you can go pretty quick. As fast as your little fingers can fold. Okay. So I think altogether, when we're done, we'll have 10 sections on each side. 10 or 9. So if it helps you kind of remember, other than using the center ribbon, remember you've got to finish each section first. So if you kind of forget where you left off or where's your next step, you know, just remember there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folds on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 folds on the right. So you see how it makes, what is this, a trapezoid? If you were to look right here, is that a trapezoid? And God, geometry, help me. Come back to me, 10th grade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a trapezoid. but you know, don't hold me to it. So you've got to, if you're kind of like, wait, where am I at now? Oh yeah, I gotta make my trapezoid. So I know I'm not going over here with anything. Well, one, because that's my center ribbon and that's not moving, but I'm not gonna start here because it's gotta look like that. So one trapezoid per section, please. Now we finished that little trapezoid there. We're going to start our next trap. Oh my God, it's a trapezoid. I love it. Who says you don't use math after high school? Braid everything we can. Okay, that's the last braid I can do. I'm going to trim this. I just moved everything around. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to trim this up. So, the back, front, back, front, back. See, it's a different pattern on the back. It doesn't come out the same way. So this is the zigzag braid. I will make sure that the measurements for what we just did are at the front of this video. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please drop them in the comment box below. If you guys have a particular braid you'd like to see, drop it in the comments below. If you don't know what it's called, drop the picture in the comments below. Be more than happy to do any requests that you guys have. All right, guys. Thanks for coming by. Make sure you do all the YouTube-y things, like, subscribe, save, and have a great day. Bye.